Hello everybody, my name is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. You're obviously watching this on my YouTube channel, which is Amanda Ellis 11, and today I'm going to be doing a video which is a forecast for the month ahead, so June 2013, linking into Archangel Metatron's energy and really just trying to give some pointers in terms of what we all have collectively ahead for us this June. Before I go into the channeling, I had already tuned in to Metatron before pressing the record button, and the word that I kept hearing was exploration. And this is going to take different forms for us. Some people, like myself, are going off on a bit of an exploration, and it's going to be fun and exciting. Other people are going on an exploration which isn't necessarily fun or exciting, but is still going to help them to discover the depths of themselves and reveal who they really are. So I'm off to Norway, and I'm going to be giving a talk on Metatron for a colour conference out there. And I got sent this lovely card this morning, so I'll just show you that as it's sitting beside my computer. These cards are all the rage in the UK at the moment, so keep calm and jolly good luck, it says, and it's almost got that feel of the Irish good luck to it as well, so that's rather nice, and I appreciated that from who it came from. So for me, you know, it's a month of fun, and I feel quite hopeful and ready to learn new things, as well as share obviously what I know, but also absorb new information, learn new things, and then hopefully bring them back, and I can talk about that next time. I know a few other people who are also going off on adventures. Adventure would be a word as well to describe this June. The other side of the coin, though, and I still think the title of exploration fits, is people that are actually going through quite difficult times at the moment and having to really search their soul and try to find out more about who they are. You know, we think we know who we are, but often it's just that we've been given a label or a mask in which, you know, we're supposed to behave in a certain way because that's what people think who we are. And I think this June is a month for all of us just to sort of uncover some of the masks, you know, unwrap some of the layers that we put around ourselves and get more to the inner person, you know, who we really are. And for some of us, we don't necessarily even know who that person is because the layers that we've put around ourselves are so thick that we've almost started to believe that that is who we are. So I hope that makes sense, but I definitely feel that is a theme for this month, exploration, and sort of delving into the depths, I suppose, of who we are. So, and a colour that's very good to support that is orange. This bottle here, which is the one that's missing from the range behind me, if you've noticed a gap, is bright orange. This is linked to the sacral chakra, but it's all to do with our centre of creativity. You know, orange is a colour which is the one that wants to sort of get out there, have a bit of fun, but also just explore the world, explore who you are. This is ultimately why you're here on the planet, to learn and to grow and to seek new adventures. Sometimes this can be forced on us, as I say, through maybe quite difficult, challenging times, but there's still a time of exploration, or they can be, hopefully, like my month is going to be, one of, you know, quite a lot of fun and joy, but also it's about exploration and adventure and new experiences. So without any further ado, let's spray one of the Metatron essences today. I've got this one made up, which is not much left of it actually, but it's a blue essence. It's called Metatron Diamond, and it was one I had made up for me, and I just feel as though I'd like to use this one today to link into Metatron's energy, and as we sit here, maybe you'd just like now just to connect into the energy of Metatron as well, and just sort of still yourself, feel your feet on the floor, and then just welcome in the energy of Archangel Metatron. It may come in from behind you, might come in at your right hand side, you might feel a tingling at your crown, but just know that you have that energy now starting to surround you. I'm just going to spray this one and connect in like I usually do. I'm being shown a picture of the sea. It's a very tranquil sea. And Metatron is saying this: it's time for each of us to actually dive down and to explore, as we've been discussing, hidden aspects of who we are. It's almost as though, if you take the analogy of the sea, we understand what the sea looks like, we understand what the colour is like, and any one day when we go down and see the sea, we're aware of how it looks. And I live near the sea, and I can sometimes see it from my window, and so today it's quite calm, and it looks quite tranquil. But it's such a superficial way to look at the sea, and Metatron is saying this is an analogy basically for our lives as well, because we look just on the surface. And if you imagine your life a bit like the sea, he's wanting you to look beyond the surface stuff of what is going on. So look beyond just the day-to-day activities that you need to do this June. Look beyond the day-to-day requirements of you and the things that you know are in the diary that need to be completed. And look beyond actually how you generally are perceived in society, as well as how you necessarily think of yourself. So he's saying here, it might be an interesting exercise just to try to think now of a few words that you would use to describe yourself. And maybe he can help you with this. So literally just come up with 2 or 3 adjectives that describe who you are as a person. So you might come up with happy, jolly, friendly, serious, sensitive, angry, I don't know, whatever the words are that are applicable to you, just take a note of what the first 3 words are that you would use to describe yourself. And Metatron is saying that these words are often labels that have been given to us, sometimes at a very, very early age. They can have been given to us by other people, but also they're ones that we reinforce. So if we think we are, for example, a serious person, we can reinforce that by always saying, well, I'm a serious person. And he's actually asking you to go beyond that this month. So if we look back to the analogy of the sea, it's almost as though we need to get our snorkel on and our goggles and actually dive down into the depths of our life and take a look at the bottom of the sea. Take a look at what lives within the deeper recesses of who we are. And in the past, often when we talk about, going within and going down to the deep subconscious, it can be from a healing perspective to look at things that need healing, to come up for cleansing. But he's saying this month, it's more about taking a look at the hidden treasures that are there. It's as though each of us has forgotten very important skills and attributes and aspects of who we are. And it may well be something, or maybe a talent, or it may be an attribute that we used to be very good at. We might have been artistic, for example. We might have been musical. We might have been somebody who's a good listener. I don't know what it is, but it's just getting in touch with those either forgotten or hidden aspects and attributes of who you are. And almost as though you are a diver, diving down into the sea, picking it up like a prized possession or a prized jewel, and actually taking it back out and seeing it as an aspect of who you are and doing something with it. Metatron is encouraging each of us this June to rediscover a forgotten or a latent aspect of who we are, and to really bring it back out into the open and to do something with it. This can be in a very, very small way. If we take the example of maybe an artistic or creative aspect of who you are that you might have forgotten, it's actually just remembering that there was a time when maybe you liked to draw or paint or read or make pottery or make jewellery or whatever it is, and then not just remembering it, but actually doing something active to actually activate it and bring it into life. So actually, book yourself onto an art class or open a new book, go to a bookshop and buy a new book, if reading is a love that you haven't done for many, many years. Or I don't know what it is. You have to be the one that rediscovers what this aspect of you is. I'd like you to now just be asking Metatron to help you remember an aspect of yourself that you've either forgotten or that is latent. And this June time just feels like a really important time to rediscover it. So let's just have a moment now just to see what that is. And the point of this exercise is that Metatron wants to remind us that we all get too bogged down with our responsibilities. And although we have responsibilities and they need to be observed and followed through, life is also about being here and being joyful. And it's about learning and growing. And it's just so important, he's saying, not to stand still and to try as much as we can to get the most out of this life that we can. And so this June time actually feels at a personal, individual level. It's about self-exploration. It's about rediscovering something about ourselves that maybe we've forgotten. And the point is that that brings us joy and satisfaction. So he's really asking you to break out of the mold this June and do something in a very, very different way or a new way. So that's quite a nice thing maybe for us all to be getting on with as we go into this month of June. So that seems to be the first thing that he wants to say. The second message, I'm just going to shuffle my colour mirrors cards again, which, as you know, I love, and I tend to do this on these videos. And we'll just see what the second part of the video is going to be about. These colour cards, colour oracle cards, were made by my teacher Moira Bush, who taught me most of what I know about colour. And in fact, this June is coming down to Bournemouth to teach a new course called Silver Spheres, which is another new healing method that's coming through from Metatron. And I'm hoping to integrate it into my existing Metatron healing work. I'll tell you more about that next time. But anyway, let's see here what the cards are going to say to us today. Royal Blue Dragon, we've got Indigo Adult, it says. And in fact, the colour on that card really perfectly matches, doesn't it, the backdrop of the Metatron painting behind me. Indigo Adult. Yeah, you know, there's a lot talked about indigo children, crystal children, rainbow children, whatever it is you want to call these people. But I think Metatron is reminding each of us watching this, because if you're watching this, hopefully you are of a like mind, you know, and we're talking the same language, which is the language of love and light and the belief in angels and higher vibrational beings that are here to help us on this planet at the moment. But I think Metatron and, you know, this dragon energy is wanting to also encourage us, actually, because in a way we are the way showers. You know, we are the people that are going out there who are taking ideas and concepts and energy, which is quite new, into the wider world. And the world is still quite resistant. And if you look around the world this June, we can see again pockets of violence and aggression and resistance and fear, more or less wherever you look. But we have to hang on to the belief that we can make a difference. And you know, the indigo adult, which is what we all are watching this mostly, are people that have signed up for the ride. They've signed up to do the spiritual work in this lifetime, but more than that, to actually take it out into our respective communities. It was quite an interesting post that I was reading today on Facebook from somebody else, and they were talking about, and I really agree with this, that it's not our responsibility to change anybody. Sometimes within family groups in particular, or friendship groups, when we start off on our spiritual paths, or even when we're fully on our spiritual path, we can get disheartened by sometimes the people that we have around us, particularly family members who we don't necessarily have choice whether they're in our life or not. You know, they are in our life, but we can see that their vibration isn't necessarily matching our own, and maybe they're of a lower vibration. And there is this tendency to think, well, I have to rush in and save them, you know, or I have to try and change them. I have to try and make them see my point of view. And the indigo adult would not do that. The indigo adult would understand that each person is on their journey and they're at their own perfect moment. So it's never about trying to change somebody or force our beliefs onto people. It's just about working on ourselves. But I think really this beautiful indigo dragon here that we've got is just reminding us that A, we're doing well, B, we're to a degree still going against the mainstream, although much of our thinking is becoming more mainstream, but we're having to really shine a light into pretty dark corners of our communities, not, as I say, with a view to saving anybody or preaching what we believe, but really just by holding who we are and holding our light and standing true in that. And then hopefully people can see that, and if they're interested, they can ask questions. But that is an important point. Of course, the indigo colour as well, interestingly, is very much linked into the internet, which of course is where I'm talking to you on here. And my hope is that we can build up a sort of community of like-minded souls online who can support each other in this ascension journey that we're all on. So I'm going to end here with one more message from Metatron, and I'm just going to choose another colour to spray. And this one is the Metatron magenta light. So let's see what final message Metatron has for us. I'm hearing the words branch out, branch out. It's literally as though we are a tree and we are entering a period of growth, of collective growth, both within the world but within our own systems and our own energy bodies. And this June feels as though it's not a time for pruning back necessarily, or of standing still, although obviously a tree does stand still. It's a time for you as the tree to actually branch out into new adventures, new things, read new material, reach out to new people, learn new things, learn more about yourself. It actually feels a very interesting month that we're entering, and rather than just letting new facts and synchronicities and things sort of come into your body and then you forget about it 2 minutes later, I would encourage everybody who's working with Metatron, and I say this to all my clients, to keep a journal. Keep a journal that you dedicate to Metatron, and in that, just start to record progress and things that you're doing that are different, that are out of the ordinary, where you're showing yourself more than anything that you're actually taking steps out of comfort zone. June is not a month to stay in our comfort zone. Some of us are being forced out of our comfort zone through difficult situations. It could be illness or it could be events that have happened to us other than that. Other people, like myself at the moment, June is a month of adventure. But whatever the circumstances is, it's not a month for standing still. June is a month of exploration, adventure, change and growth. So I wish you well and good luck this June. I think hopefully it will be an interesting one, and I will report back towards the end of the month, actually, after I get back from Norway, and I'll let you know how all that has gone as well. In the meantime, I send you lots of love. Have a great month ahead. Bye for now.